So this video is on how to add a Panasonic snorkel lens into Vectorworks as just a default drop-down option for the projector. So first things first, scale the Panasonic drawing. What you want to do is basically trace the outside, and then we're going to sweep. So I actually do trace all the little parts. The thinking is that if this ever needs to end up in a render, then I have a already basically correct geometry. So I'm doing here is just taking an arc, so I prefer the 3-point arc, and then I'm aligning it to that first point using like the smart points. So I know that that perfectly aligns between the two ends, deleting the locus that I used to place that first dot. Now just tracing the outside again. So here what I'm doing is I'm just sweeping it. So my practice is that I'll always drop in the locus, just that's good practice, but by default it should, sweep correctly. You may need to rotate a little bit to get it right if it's if it's inverted from what you want. So just aligning it. So here, this is just going to be a simple extrude, just measuring it. And here we're just going to align it to the center. The RQ32K. So we're just going to duplicate it, one for each of the two snorkel lenses. I did one off screen. So I'm going to just paste in the geometry. You don't want to make the lens a symbol because then it actually will show up just as a projector but without any of the settings. So here I'm just aligning it to be on the same plane as the lens. Delete the lens, and then there's a locus that we want to leave in place, and align that lens. So here, rescaling, this is a pet peeve of mine when they put two different scale drawings on the same page. There should be a separate page in my opinion, but we're rescaling, and that's just so we can get the offset of how far in the lens mounts. Here I find the easiest way to align this is actually just to draw a rectangle. So if you hit tab and then put in your number, that will get you exactly what you want. And then we just drag the projector over to line it up. So there we go, we got a projector. So now we actually need to change the numbers. So the main thing here is that we need the distance to the front and the distance to the back and the bottom. We know that the lens, because we set it to the same height as the original lens, so we know that that distance doesn't change. But the distance to the front, so in this case it is negative because the projector is in a way in front of the where the lens is. And then we just get the back as well. Cool, so from here, really just saving as. This is the projector model. So they're either in like your work group or in your Vectorworks folder. Needs to be in there, else the plugin won't read it. So you'll need to save, and then also refresh the library that it's in, or restart Vectorworks. So here we kind of see a mistake I made. So I didn't update the 2D geometry, though the 3D geometry works. So here, just going to do a hidden line rendering of it, and there we go. Save and refresh again. I like to just completely get rid of whatever test file it is, just so that it's not holding on to any old symbol definitions. And then when we drop something in, we have the projectors as a option. And there we go. So we can see it in 2D, and then we have it in 3D. Switch over to shaded, and there we are.